Alright, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum and good morning to Dr. Dede. So we will be presenting our project, which the title that we have chosen is Online or Face-to-Face Learning Selection Studies. And we are from section 4. So before we get started, here let me introduce our group members. We consist of 4 members, which firstly we have Muhammad Haziq bin Azmi, Razin bin Khalid, Nur Aina Azika binti Nur Izhar, and me myself, Amir Humaira binti Ihsan. Alright, so I will start us off with the introduction. Firstly, it can be said that online learning has increased drastically throughout the years, especially during the rise of the pandemic within these 2 years. So, the rise of online learning has made it possible for students with busy lives and limited flexibility to acquire a quality education. This is in contrast to face to face learning, which, web based instruction has made it possible to offer classes worldwide through just a single internet connection. Although online learning does boast several advantages over traditional education, it still has its drawbacks, such as limited communal synergies. However, online learning seems to be the path many students are taking to pursue their degree. Besides that, online and face-to-face education share many qualities, such as students are still required to attend class, learn the materials, submit assignments, and complete group projects. As for the teachers, they still have to design curriculums, maximize instructional quality, answer class questions, grade assignments, and many others. Despite these similarities, there are also differences between these two modalities. Like traditionally, class instructions are known to be teacher-centered and require passive learning by the students. As for online learning, it is often student-centered and requires active learning.
So we did a questionnaire to conduct a study about which learning method is more preferred by students. This is also to decide the most efficient way to learn in this modern era. We have prepared some questions to be answered to know whether online or face-to-face learning methods are the best. So we put the first variable to be the students that preferred online learning method and the second variable to be the students that preferred face-to-face learning method. So these are the two methods that can be chosen and made by us when we follow theory use. The two choices are for hypothesis null, the students prefer online learning method than face-to-face learning method. And the second hypothesis is students prefer face-to-face learning method than online learning method.
We use a questionnaire-based approach to gather the data required for this survey when conducting it. Students in high school or college made up the group we conduct with, and we ask their opinions on the best and most efficient learning methods for them, including whether they prefer online or face-to-face class. Parts A, B, C, D, and make up the 4 sections that make up the entire questionnaire. There are a total of 20 questions that have been prepared for students to answer and share their opinion on in relation to the title of our study. Each student was given 5 options for answer, including 1 strongly disagree, 2 disagree, 3 neutral, 4 agree, 5 strongly agree. Part A of the questionnaire asks respondents to provide some background information about themselves, including their gender, age, races, and level of education. The question pertaining to online learning are found in section B. Question about face-to-face learning are asked in section C. Section D, which asks respondents to choose between online and face-to-face learning. Therefore, the primary goal of this study is selection studies for online or face-to-face learning. Students must decide which type of learning is more efficient. Students in the second and third academic year have already finished a number of semesters, making it much simpler for them to respond to our questionnaire question. This makes it simpler for them to respond to the question because they have prior knowledge of both face-to-face and online learning methods. 33 university students from University Tun Hussein On, Malaysia, who were enrolled in various years were chosen at random to participate. Male students made up 51.5% of the participants, while female students made up 48.5%. In addition, 90.9% of the participants were between the age of 18 and 20. 6.1% were between the age of 21 and 23, and 3% were between the age of 24 and 26.
The collected data that we got from the survey has been placed in the statistical analysis software, which is the SPSS, to be investigated. The data that need to be entered must be based on the survey that we already conducted. Therefore, we started working on the methods to change the variables view to meet our needs, such as the column names, types, values, and measure data are in line with the surveys. After that, the data that has been obtained is being converted to Excel. Then we imported it to SPSS to analyze the data. The detailed data is displayed.
A normality test is used to examine whether a data set can be adequately described by a normal distribution and to calculate the likelihood that a random variable underlying the data set is normally distributed. The outcome above demonstrates how statistical value is used to analyze the data from our surveys. For the kurtosis in SPSS to be regarded as the normal, the result must fall between the range of 1.96. Online descriptive statistic and physical descriptive statistic are both normal according to the aforementioned data.
Alright, so next up we have 4.4 reliability analysis, which it is a type of measurement that can display the stability and accuracy of measurement tools used by researchers to measure a concept. The Cronbach alpha is a reliability test conducted within the SPSS to measure the internal consistency such as reliability of the measuring instrument, which ours is the questionnaire. So if a study instrument's interval scale is close to the convex alpha coefficient of 1.0, the higher the reliability. Okay, so for online, the table beside here shows the reliability is high since the Cronbach value is close to 1.0, which can be seen here. So for face-to-face, the table beside here shows that the Cronbach alpha value is close to 1.0, so it also shows that it has high reliability.
Descriptive statistics, which include mean, mode, and median, are used to analyze data using the percentage, frequency, and MCT, which is the measure of central tendency. So in bivariate analysis, this type of research often employs just one variables. When reviewing data, percentage and frequency are typically used for demographics like gender and age. In connection to variables like age, we may also determine the respondent's median age. All the respondent gender, age, year of study, races, education level, and preferred class will all be displayed on the table. There are 33 respondents that took part in this survey.
The project's Pearson correlation is displayed in the table below. It reveals that the online component has a Pearson correlation of 0.279, which is considered to be a strong positive correlation, and the physical component has a Pearson correlation of negative 0.104, which is a weak negative correlation.
Now, I'm going to explain about simple linear regression. As we can see in the table, the variables that were put in is online, and the method that we use is enter, so we declare face-to-face as the dependent variable. Next, the model summary table. The model summary says that R is equals to 0.351, R squared is 0.123, the adjusted R squared is 0.095, and that the estimate standard error is 0.569. The R squared change is 0.123, F change is 4.343, the F1 is equal to 1, and the F2 is equals to 31. And the last one is the sigma F change is 0.041. Now I'm going to explain about ANOVA and coefficient table. The regression value for the sum of squares in table ANOVA is 1.407, df equals to 1, mean square is 1.407, f equals to 4.343, and the sigma is 0.045. The sum of square residual is 10.040, the df is 31, and the mean square residual is 0.324. The total df from regression and residual is 32, and the total sum of squares from regression and residual is 11.447. Next, in the table of coefficient, the constant for unstandardized B is 5.175. The coefficient for standard error is 0.517. The standardized coefficient of beta is none, t equals to 10.003, and the sigma is less than 0.001. For online, the unstandardized p is negative 0.295, the coefficient standard error is 0.142, and the standardized beta is negative 0.351. T equals to negative 2.084, and the last one is sigma is 0.45. So as you can see, this is the scatter plot, which we declare face-to-face as the dependent variable. So this is graph shows scatter dot face-to-face by online. That's all from me. Thank you.
And lastly, we have the conclusion, which the aim of this study was to investigate the relationships between the type of class students prefer and its efficacy towards students' education performance. Findings have demonstrated that there are indeed significant relationships between these variables. Nevertheless, based on the result of the study we conducted, most students prefer online learning rather than face-to-face learning. In short, both online and face-to-face learning have their own pros and cons. More studies comparing these modalities should be conducted to achieve a more particular learning outcomes in participating learner populations before well-informed decisions are made. And a survey instrument was distributed to students to explore the students' perceptions towards online and face-to-face learning in terms of social presence, social interaction, and satisfaction. Although online learning is perceived as less social interaction, lacking social presence, and so on, online learning does still have its advantages. That's it from our group for our presentation today. Thank you.